Hey guys, wanted to touch base with you. We are at the end of the year, and some of you didn't make the jump. In fact, the majority didn't make the jump, which was to get a campaign out before the mid part of December. But you still have time to do some things and to prepare for next year. So let me kind of go through what you may want to be thinking about. First thing you need to be thinking about is putting together the balance of your emails, not the email campaign, the emails. You should be loading up emails. If you have Get Response, then I believe you can do the first 500 emails for free. So there's no excuse not to be able to get that going. And so just go in and start loading up emails. Load them up if you want by category, by city, however you think is best for you. Just make sure that you're putting enough data in there, such as the phone number if you have it, the email, of course, you have to put in anyway, and the company name, so that when you get some type of response through an open, you'll know exactly how to get back to them and find the information easily. Remember that. That's very, very important. If you don't, you're going to wish you had. Okay, so make sure you do that. Now, the other thing is I sent you guys. Let me give you a little update in terms of earnings and those types of things. I started doing this almost 3 months ago. I thought it was 2 months ago. It's been almost 3 months ago. I am a business broker, so I'm probably a little bit better at it than most of you, at least in the beginning, in terms of getting started, which is the hardest part, because really this is not hard anyway. All you're doing is asking a business owner, do they want to sell their business? That's all you're doing. And so the only reason I've gotten more of those because I asked more often. That's it. Because he tells me no. He or she tells me no just as much as they would tell you no. The only difference is I'm asking a lot more often than you are. And so that's very, very important. Now, in terms of earnings, because I really don't want to get into money, but just know that my average contract is 1,500 or better. I'm almost at 2,000. So you can just figure out the numbers. What has happened is I've done about 12 deals. 3 of them have not been placed as of yet. And remember, there's a little lead time because when we get a deal, if a deal is listed, then it takes 10 days before we get the check. So when you look at all that stuff there, and in terms of the number, I told you there's a few that have not hit the books yet. And so I'm at a pretty good number, though. It's not a bad number. And the other ones are coming through. The other 3, I have not heard a status on those as of yet. But I did all of that in a short period of time. In 90 days, less than 90 days. And that was not doing it hard. Now, as I get to the new year, it's going to be a whole nother ball game, and here's the reason. The other thing I sent you guys today, I think it was there's a piece I have with a real estate deal finder program. I've had that program for a little while. I really, really like that program. And it's very similar to what we're doing, but only it's real estate. The 2 things they have in common is, number one, they're both deal finder programs. One is a deal finder program for M&A. The other is a deal finder program for real estate. The other thing they have in common, if you participate in this program, then you're going to find that as I did, that the majority of the deals get done by making phone calls. Now, in these days and times, there seems to be where people want to do everything but make a phone call, and that's cool. I mean, online is that they're doing ChatGPT, all these different things, which really, at the end of the day, is designed so you don't have to talk to anybody. Well, this is not that. This one, it makes the most sense to talk to people because the deals get done faster. And look at the amount of money we're talking about. On the deal finder side, we're talking about significant amounts of money every time a deal gets listed. $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 every time a deal gets listed. Once just think at $15,000 to $2,000, you're doing 4 deals. You're talking 8 G's. All right, that's worth a phone call. On the deal finder side, you will find, and you guys are not in the deal finder program, just giving you an idea in terms of how the compensation works over there. What I really love about that program is you have 2 different ways to get paid. One, you can get paid by referring the lead. So in other words, you don't go to the house, you don't get the contract signed, you find a deal that's worth it. You look up the name and the phone number and the email, which I have software that helps me, or some people call it skip tracing, but I have some software I've been utilizing for a while, at least purchase. that gives me some good data there. And so if I just send a deal in, so I find a house, it could be wholesale, it could be flipped. And the reason why that's a big deal now, folks, is valuation. There's been a lot of foreclosures, and they're beginning to mount. Bankruptcies, they're beginning to mount. You can look this stuff up, and that's putting pressure. And then, of course, health reasons, divorce reasons, a lot of reasons why people sell a business and sell a house. Same reasons on both. All right. And so you're starting to see inventory. I'm seeing here in town, I'm seeing a lot of inventory between here, Alabama and Mississippi on the lower part of the state. I'm seeing a lot of it, same as you should be seeing in your hometown. And so on one way they pay us is if I just send that lead in. I didn't get the contract signed. I just sent the lead in. And when they close that deal, they're going to pay me 15% of what they make on that deal. Okay. The other way we get compensated in the Deal Finder program on the real estate side, if you get involved in that, which is why I got really interested, is, of course, we get 50%. So if I go and I get the contract, which I've done many, many times with lease purchase, it's not going to be much different here. You're getting that purchase agreement signed, and you get that deal signed. You learn a little bit about comping. All that stuff is in the training. And same thing I did in lease purchase, and so you get a deal signed with a contract, they'll give you 50%. One of the things he mentions, and you'll see that right in the information I sent you, is he guarantees that you'll make $10,000 in 30 days. Now, do I know how he does that? I don't know. What I can tell you is that is very possible. I know it's possible. I'm doing it in what I'm doing. And the same thing you can do it on the real estate side. Now, let me tell you why this is so important to me. Well, obviously, I'm older. Coming into this year, I'll retire this particular year coming up, pretty much. But deal finding is such a simple thing to do. I can use my phone for most of the deal finding. On the deal finding real estate side, he actually gives us deal finding software. Deal finding software. And I mean, this is a really good program. I've been listening to there's tons of Zoom calls, and I'm listening to the 12-5 call now. And these guys know what they're doing. They're deal finders. But the other thing you'll find that is very similar to this is they primarily make phone calls in order to get in contact with the sellers. So we're making phone calls to get in contact with the sellers on the business side. We're making phone calls to get in contact with the sellers on the real estate side. Why would they both be doing the same thing? Why would they both be talking about phone calls so much? I'm talking about phone calls a lot. They're talking about phone calls over there a lot. That's the bastion of how you get deals there as well, because it's the fastest way to get a deal done. Simple as that. It's the fastest way to get a deal done. When you actually talk to somebody, you get some clarity very quickly. A yes or a no. And if it's yes, we know what they need to do. We know, and then we go to the next one. It's very simple. Right? But most people don't do it because, they classify this as work. So, it is what it is. But the reason I like it so much because it's very easy to do. I can control the entire process on my phone and my computer. I don't have to go anywhere at all. All I am is a finder. I can do it anywhere in the freaking country. I can drive down in any part of the country, in any of your hometowns, anywhere, and look at deals, find deals, and do deals. It's just that simple. And so, I would strongly suggest you start in your own backyard for lots of different reasons. You build your team in your backyard for lots of reasons. It's easier. But just know, as you get better, that the entire United States is your backyard. It really is. And I've always done that. I have certain areas I always go to, my go-to areas. I go to those every time I do a campaign with business owners, real estate, I go to the same areas. They've all been areas I've used to live in or I know something about. And so when I'm having a conversation with the seller, we can talk about some familiarities. I know the areas, I know the streets, I know some of the business, I know some of the restaurants, and we weave those conversations into a deal. All right. So hopefully this will be help you. The other thing I would strongly suggest you to do is, as you get involved in this, I was going to do another video, but it's just not ready time to do it because not many people have done it. But the next video would be on reaching out to advisors and what to say to them, how to get them to send you deals. But I'll reserve that for when you're getting deals done. Okay. So hopefully, guys, you'll take this and turn this into something. This is serious money you can make here on both sides of the table. I've introduced you to the M&A Deal Finder. I would strongly suggest you go back and look at the previous videos and get started. Even here in the year, you can send some emails, some simple emails, and just say, hey, Merry Christmas. Just want to introduce myself. So as we go through the new year, please remember my name, my company is so and so and so. And what we do is we help you find buyers for your business, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're not going to say that because it's really brokerage language. That's something I would say. But basically, we have buyers that are interested in buying a business such as yours in this particular area. And so anyway, guys, hopefully that'll help you. Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy New Year. You have until Wednesday if you want me to review your email campaigns for the M&A Deal Finder. I've sent you the information on the other program. And so you have plenty of material to just be a deal finder, which you can do simply with your phone in between doing everything else you do. It's very, very simple. Okay. So hopefully you'll take this information and do something with it. Guys, thanks so much. See you in 2024 unless I decide to do another video. But otherwise, Happy New Year to everyone and Happy Christmas. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.